Shalom Akim. Today's lesson we're going to go into how to change tenses. And last lesson that I did was the present tense. In this lesson we're going to deal with the past tense, and Lord's will in the future we're going to deal with the future tense. So this lesson here is how to change tenses in the Hebrew, which we showed you the last time. The way you change a tense, or the way you change a word to make it like a present tense. Like for instance, the word shamar, you add a wa between the first and the second letter, and it would become shawamar, which would become, instead of watch, it would become watching. So that's in the present tense. So in this lesson I'm gonna go into showing you how to make it past tense. And some of these you probably won't use, because of the fact, when you read the Hebrew and the Torah and the Tanakh, and you get used to it and get familiar with the letters and the characters in the Hebrew and the Torah and Tanakh, when you come across certain words, after a while you learn how to pick up, okay, when you know the verse, okay, well, this means that this word is past tense, this is present tense, this is future tense, but that all comes with time. These lessons here are a little bit more advanced, and I'm doing some of these lessons for some of the more advanced brothers out there, that want to get a little deeper into the Hebrew. So we're gonna start off in this with this how to change tenses for the past tense, and we're gonna start off here with the word ibar. Now the word ibar is what you get the word Eber from, or the name Eber, which is where the Hebrew language gets its name from, Hebrew. Alright, now ibar or ibar means past. That's where you get your past tense, and that's the reason why the language is called ibar or Eber or Hebrew, because it was a language of the past. It was the holy tongue, or the Lashon Kodash of the past. Alright, so for in the letter in the word I, like in the first person, whether it's male or female, the way you make a word past tense is you add a thaya or thaya at the end of the word. And I'm gonna give an example right here. I watched, male or female, it says Anya Shamar Thaya. Okay, now I'm gonna break that down for you. Anya Shamar Thaya basically is I watched. Anya is I, Shamar Thaya is watched. Okay, now the word Shamar, as you see it here written out, Shamar is watch. Shamar Thaya is watched when you add the ed at the end. So when you speaking in the first person, you would just add a thaya at the end of the word, and that would make it a past tense. Like if you say I watch or I am watching, you will put anya shawamar, anya shawamar, I watching or I am watching. If you say I watched, you would say anya shamar thaya. You put the thaya at the end of the word. And you brothers can go back over this, and go over it till you get it. Okay. Now the next one is you, male or female. You add a tha or tha at the end of the word. All right. You watched, male or female. Atha shamar tha. Atha is you. Shamar tha is watched. Okay. You have the word shamar. That's shamar, which is to watch. And then when you say you watched in the past tense, you would say shamar tha. Shamar tha, watched. Alright. Now these only apply, like I said, it only applies to, the first one applies to the first person I. Right? You put the thaya. You have to make sure that if you do write a sentence, you got to make sure that you're specific on who you're speaking of. That way you can add the right letters, the right combination of letters to these words to get your point across. Alright, so you add the tha at the end, shamar tha, which is atha shamar tha, you watched. Alright, now the next one is he. Now he, you basically leave as it is. In other words, you don't touch it, and I'm explaining that. Hawa'a shamar. Hawa'a is he, and shamar is watched. So you don't have to change any letters here, because if you say he watched, it pretty much you could just use the regular shamar for the past tense or the present tense for he. I'm sorry, for the past tense. For the present tense, you will add the wa between the first and the second letter. Okay. All right. The next one is she. You add a ha at the end of the word to make it feminine. She watched Haya'a Shamara. Haya'a is she. Shamara with a ha at the end is watched. All right. Shamar. Shamar is to watch. Shamara is watched. But this is the feminine way of doing it. All right. That's why you have to always distinguish whether it's masculine or feminine, whether you're speaking about one person or more people. You know, that's why you get the masculine, feminine tenses, and then you get the singular and plural tenses. All right. You got to make sure that it all matches in your sentence. All right. Now the next one is we. We, male or female, you add a nawa at the end of the word. For example, we watched, male or female, anach nawa, shamar nawa. Anach nawa is we, shamar nawa is watched. So basically all you do for we is you will add the nawa at the end of the word, what you see here, and that would make it watched, you know, letting you know that it's we. You know, so there's not really too much change in the actual word watch, but it's just a matter of putting the right combination of letters to distinguish who you're speaking of when you make these sentences. All right. So shamar nawa, anach nawa, shamar nawa. We watched. Once again, shamar is watch, and shamar nawa is watched. But when you're saying it for we, when you're speaking about yourself and other people with you, whether it's masculine or feminine. All right. Now the next one is you, male plus female, plural. All right. Remember we did the you, but we did the you singular. You know, which matter of fact, I go back up to that. What we did here is we did you, but this is you singular. You add the tha at the end. But when you say you and you want to make it plural, for male or female plural, for the male you will add a thumb at the end. Like when you say Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Baraka Thumb, when you say Baraka Thumb simply means Barak is blessed, and thumb means use or you all. You know, Baraka Thumb. You know, so when you just saluting one brother, you would say Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Baraka Tha. Singular. Atha is singular for you. But then if you're addressing more than one brother, you say Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Baraka Thumb. You add the thumb at the end because the thumb makes it known that you're speaking about first and foremost masculine or male, and you're speaking about more than one, because it's more. If it's two or more brothers, then you would say thumb. You would add the thumb at the end. So you, male or female plural, the male you add a thumb at the end. You go thumb at the end of the word, and the female you add a thun at the end of the word. Okay. So for instance, you watched, male plural, a thumb, shamar thumb. A thumb is you, male plural. Shamar thumb is watched. So you see, basically the word shamar, watch stays the same. You know, shamar, which is watch, it stays the same, but it's just a matter of adding the combination of letters at the end of the word, or whether it's at the beginning of the word or in the middle of the word, to convey how many people you're speaking of, and to distinguish their gender. All right. So the word shamar is watch, and the word shamar thumb is watched, but you, male plural. All right. That's where you put the thumb at to distinguish that it's talking about male plural, more than one male. All right. Now you watch, female plural is a thun, shamar thun. A thun is you, female plural. All right. Shamar thun is watched, female plural. Shamar once again is watch, and shamar thun is watched, but it's feminine plural. And you could apply the same formula to every other word also. You know that it just doesn't have to be watch. There could be other things. You could add it to the word walk. You could add it to any other word that you want to put into a sentence. All right. Now the next one is they, male plus female plural. You add a wa at the end, And most of these, when you have masculine and feminine in together, the masculine always takes over. You know, just like the you know, basically just like in our law, you know, the man is the one that is over the female. You know, so whatever the man says, that's what goes. So in the Hebrew language, even in the Hebrew language, when you look at the Hebrew language, the masculine characters or the masculine form usually always takes precedence over the feminine. You know, unless you're speaking about, like, let's say for the instance, the word kingdom, which would be malak wath, which the wath is feminine plural, but the reason why it's feminine plural is because we are married unto the Most High, so the Most High considers us to be like a woman. You know, but for the most part, if you're speaking about we or us, you know, or them or they, you know, when it involves male and female, the masculine tense always takes over. So they, male plus female plural, you add the wa at the end. For instance, they watched, male plural, ham shamarwa. So in this case, there's a separation, there's a distinction. But in the case of like other, you know, other instances, the masculine form would take over. And I believe there's either in this lesson there's an example of that, or in the previous lesson when we did the present tense there was an example of that, where the word yum, which is masculine plural, would take precedence when you're speaking about male or female. All right, it says they watch, male plural, hum shamarwa. Hum is they, male plural. Shamarwa is watched, as in the past tense, because remember we're dealing with the past tense here. Shamar, once again, shamar is watch. Shamarwa is watched, you know, in the past tense, but this is for the male plural, shamarwa. Okay, they watched, female plural, is han shamarwa. Han is they, female plural, and then shamarwa is watched. Shamar is watch, shamarwa is watched, feminine plural. But notice that shamarwa doesn't change in either the male plural or the female plural. It's just the word that describes they, which is hum for male and hun for female. Okay, that's the only thing that changes, not the actual word itself, you know. And there's other instances, like I said, you know, in the Hebrew language, where whenever you're speaking about more than one person, whether it includes male and female both, usually the masculine tense takes over, you know, what's the word I'm looking for, the sentence, you know, and the message that you're trying to convey. Alright, so this has been a short lesson, you know, so Lord's will, you brothers learn something, and our Lord's will come back at you with the future tense, how to change tenses, and that way you brothers can have all three, you know. And like I said, this is a more advanced class, you know. Once I get through these lessons, Lord's will, you know, go back into doing some more reading and some more breaking down of words for you brothers, so you can get more understanding on the Hebrew, and then that way when you read it in the Torah and the Tanakh, you know, you'll appreciate it more, you know, because it's beautiful when you can read the Torah and understand certain words in there, you know. When you can read the should I say the Thawara is the way you say it, you know. Torah is the way them so-called Jews say it, and the Tanakh, you know, and when you can read it and there's certain words in there you can make out, you know, and understand, you know. Alright, so with that, you know, we'll close this lesson out, and Lord's will, catch you brothers on the next one. Shalom.